Becky Lynch breaks down in tears after Seth Rollins tragically dies in a ghastly car accident. Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we've got some truly surprising and heartwarming news from the WWE Universe. Becky Lynch breaks down in tears after Seth Rollins dies in ghastly car accident, WWE World in mourning. This is not just another story. It's a tragedy that's rocked the entire WWE Universe to its core. In the early hours of the morning, a devastating car crash claimed the life of WWE Superstar Seth Rollins, real name Colby Lopez. But behind the headlines, behind the tributes, behind the millions of tears from fans around the world, is one woman, shattered, broken, and drowning in unimaginable grief. This is the heartbreaking story of Becky Lynch, and the moment her world collapsed. The news that shattered everything. It was supposed to be just another quiet morning. The kind Becky Lynch hadn't had in weeks. Between managing her intense schedule, being a mother, and preparing for a surprise return to Monday Night Raw, she was exhausted, but hopeful. But then, the call came. At approximately 4:12 a.m., local time, authorities responded to a brutal multi-vehicle collision on the outskirts of Davenport, Iowa. Among the victims, a black SUV, crumpled beyond recognition, fire still flickering from beneath the engine. The driver, alone in the vehicle, was pronounced dead at the scene. That driver was Seth Rollins. Police say road conditions were slick, visibility was low, and a sudden swerve to avoid a deer resulted in Seth's SUV spinning into oncoming traffic before being T-boned by a truck. He died on impact. Becky was at home with their daughter, Rue, when she received the call. A simple phrase, "There's been an accident," followed by silence. Then, the words that changed everything. Her scream pierced the stillness of the morning. Becky's world collapses. The once indestructible man crumbled. Friends close to Becky say she was inconsolable, screaming, crying, collapsing to her knees in the living room, clutching a picture frame of the two of them backstage at WrestleMania 35. She kept repeating the same words, "No, no, no, not him, not him." Their daughter woke up to the sounds of her mother sobbing. WWE quickly released a brief statement, confirming Seth's death and requesting privacy for the family. But for Becky, privacy was impossible. Her grief was total, public, and real. Becky refused to speak for hours. She stared blankly out the window, refusing food, refusing comfort. When her closest friends tried to hold her, she just whispered, "He promised he'd come home." A love like no other. Becky and Seth's love story wasn't just one of wrestling's greatest romances, it was a genuine, soul-deep connection. They started as friends, two of WWE's biggest stars on separate paths. But over time, admiration turned into affection, and affection turned into a love so powerful that even their characters on-screen couldn't hide it. From their 2019 engagement to their wedding and the birth of their daughter in 2020, fans saw them not just as superstars, but as soulmates. They trained together. They traveled together. They held each other up when times got tough. When Becky stepped away from wrestling to become a mother, it was Seth who stood by her side, holding her hand in the delivery room. And when Seth battled personal demons and doubts about his character, it was Becky who reminded him who he was. "You're not just the architect," she told him once. "You're the man I built my world around." The WWE locker room reacts. The news hit the WWE locker room like a hammer to the heart. Triple H, in tears, gathered staff backstage at that night's SmackDown taping. Production halted. Choreography changed. Moments of silence were observed, and everyone, from top stars to catering staff, was silent. Roman Reigns, a longtime brother-in-arms, broke down during a closed-door meeting. Kevin Owens could barely speak through tears in a video he later posted, saying, "I loved him. We all did. And now there's just silence." Rhea Ripley and Bayley both posted photos of themselves with Seth, writing simply, "Forever family." Even rivals like Cody Rhodes, who had only just reignited a feud with Rollins on-screen, posted heartfelt tributes, saying, "He made me better. He made us all better." The Undertaker, notoriously stoic, shared a rare video message, "There are superstars. And then there are giants." Seth was the latter. Becky Lynch's first public statement. 4 days passed before Becky said a word publicly. WWE had offered her total privacy. But she insisted on speaking, not as a superstar, but as a woman who had lost the love of her life. In a pre-recorded video, aired during a special WWE tribute episode titled, "For the Visionary," Becky sat alone, no makeup, in a dimly lit room. Her voice cracked with every syllable. "Colby was the best man I ever knew. He wasn't just my husband. He was my heart, my light, my anchor. Every time I walked down that ramp, it was his voice in my head cheering me on. Every time I doubted myself, it was his arms around me reminding me who I am." Tears streamed down her face. He was supposed to come home. He kissed Rue goodnight, he kissed me, and he said he'd be back by sunrise. That sunrise came, and he never walked through that door. I don't know how to do this without him. I don't know how to be Becky Lynch, the man, the mom, without my person. The funeral, a sea of grief. Seth Rollins' funeral was held in his hometown of Davenport, Iowa. Thousands of fans lined the streets. WWE superstars from past and present gathered. Vince McMahon, Triple H, Stephanie, and even stars from AEW, NJPW, and across the globe attended. Becky wore black from head to toe. She held Rue tightly in her arms the entire time. The child, too young to understand, clutched a Seth Rollins action figure in her hands, asking softly, "When is Daddy coming home?" There were no dry eyes. At the gravesite, Becky knelt beside the casket. Her hand never left the polished wood. And before the casket was lowered, she placed a small envelope on top, her final letter to Colby. "If love could have saved you, you'd have lived forever." Tributes from around the world. The world mourned. Wrestlers from every corner of the industry paid tribute. Fans made murals, art, and tribute matches. Hashtags like #ThankYouSeth and #LiveLikeRollins trended globally for a week. Even mainstream media covered the tragedy. ESPN, CNN, and Time ran specials on Seth Rollins' legacy. WWE Network aired a 2-hour special chronicling his rise from Shield enforcer to world champion. But the most touching moment came from Becky herself, when she shared an unreleased voicemail from Seth, left just days before his death. "Hey babe, just finished training. Can't wait to see you and Rue tonight. I love you both more than anything in the world. Always remember that, forever." The audio played over black and white photos of their life together. Wedding shots, baby photos, backstage laughs, and that unforgettable kiss after WrestleMania 35. Becky's long road ahead. Becky Lynch has stepped away from WWE indefinitely. Triple H confirmed that she's been given an open-ended leave. Her future is uncertain, but no one is pressuring her to return. Sources say Becky is spending her days with family in Ireland, trying to process the loss, support her daughter, and find pieces of herself again. She reportedly told close friends, "I don't know who I am without him. But I have to stay strong, for Rue." Her pain is not just that of a widow, but of a woman who lost her best friend, her creative partner, her life companion. The legacy of Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins leaves behind a legacy unlike any other. He was a Grand Slam champion, a Royal Rumble winner, a WrestleMania headliner, but more than that, he was a leader, a teacher, a friend.